Bashar.
And you good day.
I have a question about how these beliefs, negative beliefs, might densify to the point of getting stuck in the body. Like I have this pain in the back of my left shoulder.
Yes.
And I've tried many, many different modalities, emotional processing, acupuncture, chiropractics, that kind of thing. And when I sit in a deep meditation and let a lot of light in, it's excruciatingly painful behind my left shoulder.
All right.
So I kind of see that as one of those beliefs
All
that you
right.
said are...
May I ask you a question?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. What is your resistance to being your full self? All right, I'll ask it another way. Because this often is an easier way for the human mind to wrap its mind around the idea of discovering negative beliefs. Oh, first of all, are you acting to the fullest ability you can on your highest excitement every moment?
Yes.
Why was there hesitation there?
I mean, I have doubts that come
thank
in.
you.
Okay.
So the answer is no.
No.
Thank you. So the question is, what is the worst possible thing you fear might happen if you did?
Oops. I have gotten to the point of being near destitute with money. And
Near destitute?
Yeah, near homelessness.
So are you saying that by acting on your excitement, it created the idea and the experience of being destitute? Is that what you are saying?
Yes, I guess so.
Do you understand that that is a fallacy?
Yes.
All right, explain it to us. How is it a fallacy, what you have just said?
Well, acting on my highest excitement,
Yes.
I mean, there has to be a negative belief system in there saying
Yes, because
that
why?
I don't deserve it.
Because
or
why?
like that. Because why?
Yes, because why? How do you know that?
Because I'm not living that reality.
Because if you are actually truly in your excitement, if you're actually truly in that vibration, if you're actually truly in that state of being, that state of being does not, by definition, contain an experience of destitution.
Correct.
That tells you you must be relying on some other frequency to create that experience.
Right.
So why are you connecting the idea that excitement leads to destitution? Why are you creating that hybrid belief system?
I guess because my highest excitement
Yes.
involve things like that cost a lot of money that I don't have in the moment.
So? Do you remember our definition of abundance?
Yes.
What is it?
Allowing...
No.
Oh.
Do you wish us to repeat our definition of abundance?
Yes, please.
Are you paying attention?
Yes,
Are you sure?
I am.
Thank you. Abundance. The ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. Period.
What I need to do when I need to do it.
Yes. The ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. Sometimes that might require money, and if money is required, money will be there. If money isn't there, what does that tell you? Money may not be required to give you the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. Now, we understand that money is one of the valid symbols of exchange and abundance on your planet, but it isn't the only one. Many times when you have been raised to believe that money is necessary to do certain things, you actually shortchange yourself by closing the doors through which other forms of abundance might actually have brought that ability to you. Do you understand this concept?
Yes.
So it can be that you have a belief that says that certain things cannot be done, that you cannot experience abundance unless it comes in the form of money, when in fact you could be allowing abundance to come to you in many other forms, including money, when and where it's actually the most effortless form of abundance required for a certain thing.
I have experienced that on many occasions.
Yes.
You know, following my excitement, whether it's walking in the woods
Yes.
or, you know,
Yes.
not taking a job, you know, when I'm
Yes.
scared that I need to or whatever.
Yes, although you also want to pay attention to the fact that if you have belief systems that say that if you don't take the job, you will be destitute, that you will also create a self-fulfilling prophecy by not honoring that belief. You cannot simply force yourself to jump off a cliff if you actually don't believe you have a parachute.
Well, I jumped off the cliff 2 years ago,
Yes.
and it's been a process of, you know,
Yes.
bit by bit getting to that place where
All
that
right.
is.
Have you been having fun?
Yes, actually.
All right.
Yes. And a lot has manifested. You know, I've been to Peru, I've been to Hawaii,
right.
I've been, you know, blessed with a lot of...
Did you always manifest money to allow those things to occur?
No.
Well, what a surprise. So the question is, can you allow the belief systems, the positive belief systems that obviously work very well in certain areas of your life, to work in other areas of your life? The belief that you are dealing with is a belief that says that while in certain areas the positive belief can work, in other areas they can't. So why is that belief within you? Why are you making a differentiation in certain areas of your life where the mechanism that works just fine in one area doesn't work in another? Why the differentiation? How are you defining those areas to be so different from the areas in which the belief works just fine?
I guess...
That's what you need to explore, is what we are saying.
Okay, great.
You're making a difference where no difference needs to be made.
I see.
And that's the belief you have to find.
I've got it, yeah.
Make sense?
Yes. So
Does that help you?
That has to do with this pain behind my shoulder that won't
A lot of it,
budge.
yes.
Okay.
You're giving yourself, in a sense, a pain in the neck.
Yeah. Okay.
All pain is resistance to the natural self.
Right.
You follow?
Yes, I do.
All right. You have created a restriction upon yourself, a limitation upon yourself, and thus you are not attracting the idea of the relaxation and release of that energy because you are not flowing it. You are letting it build up, and in that sense, by restricting a build-up, it's going to become more and more and more painful. That's why when you meditate, it amplifies the pain because the meditation is putting you more in touch with it, but you're not still finding out the belief system that's not allowing you to flow your energy into certain areas of your life because of the belief system and the definition you have of those areas that makes them seem so different than other areas that work flawlessly. So when you find out why you are defining those areas as different and how you are defining them to be different, then your energy can flow in those areas now that you know that they don't have to be different, and the restriction will relax and the pain will ease, and you will attract things into your reality that will also help you alleviate the pain.
Okay.
Does that help you?
Yes, very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bashar!
Hello!
So, you know already that I'm
Yes.
excited to be here. So, a couple of general, sort of larger questions about the collective unconscious core beliefs.
Yes.
Well, I think it was Thoreau said the majority of men lead lives of quiet desperation. And
All right.
I'm just sort of wondering, as you are able to peruse the planet,
Yes.
what's the percentage right now of being locked into these negative beliefs that is bringing the planet into a more negative state? And
It's
how
not
that
going into a more negative state. It is actually heading toward a more positive one by getting all the negativity out in the open and examining and dealing and integrating it.
So this is a time of fleshing out of the negative. And
As we have said,
yes.
your 2012 demarcation threshold is the time when the collective consciousness after that point will actually have slightly tipped the scales so that the collective energy of your planet will actually be slightly more positive after that date and can then snowball and expand and amplify from there. Now, this does not mean that the majority of people are experiencing positive energy. It simply means that the collective energy will be more positive. But the idea of that positive energy tipping the scales will actually come from a relatively small percentage of the population. The idea is that positive energy is integrative and expansive. So it doesn't take as many people staying in a positive state to actually tip the scales, even though there may be more people functioning in a negative state. Because people functioning in a negative state are not cohesive and don't add their energy. It's not, in that sense, cumulative. It's only individualized. So the idea is that there will be just enough positively oriented people on the planet after 2012 so that the collective energy will be generally positive, which will give the remaining negatively oriented people more opportunity to choose positive energy, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to. But what's going on is what you said. Many of the negative belief systems are being brought out into the open in a kind of flushing out system so that people can decide for themselves which way they would prefer to go, what kind of a world they would prefer to have.
Sure. So obviously, microcosmically, that's what's happening as well. This is our period of cleansing internally.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
Or at least your period of opportunity to cleanse. Whether you actually take the action to cleanse is still left up to each individual.
Right. So may I ask another?
That was a question.
Whoops. Okay, so I just went through a Millionaire Mind intensive from 9 in the morning to 11 at night for the last 2 days and decided I'm here for the third day.
Oh, all right.
I'm wondering, yeah, that was quite an experience.
Yes.
I'm wondering, is there a collective unconscious belief about money that is in the act of change? Well, obviously there is.
Yes, obviously
there is. Otherwise, the banks wouldn't be folding. But
yes.
How can we align ourselves with a more positive core belief about money to assist all of us towards more abundance right now in this place where we are collectively?
Eventually, the idea of your system of exchange will actually be based on the idea of what people themselves bring to the party, as opposed to an arbitrary medium.
Right. So it's a more individual application of our gifts and talents is what we should focus on. Is that correct?
The thing to focus on always is to follow your joy, and if your joy brings you to the creation of a new system that can be put in place when the old one crumbles or before the old one crumbles, you will slowly replace the systems that way.
Right. So
you will not change the systems that are there. You will invent new systems that are part and parcel of your highest joy so that they will be in place when the old ones no longer work. But what we are simply saying is that as we scan your collective energy, we can tell that eventually, not tomorrow, not the day after tomorrow, maybe not even for several years, but eventually, maybe within your lifetimes, you will start to see the beginnings of a new exchange system that will actually be based on the people themselves and what they have to give, and an exchange in that context as opposed to arbitrary modalities of exchange that are only symbolic.
That is, to me, like so exciting. I just want to dance right now.
Go ahead.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
You know I'm just containing myself. And the
Why?
I know, but because I get disciplined by others around me as I express joy for everything you're telling me.
Anyone going to discipline her?
I'm just always so, I can't believe how people sit down and take this information when, it's really just an amazing process that is about our liberation.
And at the same time, obviously, it is within your belief system to believe that people can take the information sitting down, since obviously you are creating in your reality a bunch of people around you sitting down.
Not my choice, but...
not your personal choice.
Right.
But obviously you are willing to allow other people to interpret this information in their own way.
Sure, of
course.
Thank you. Of course. So the one last question, if I may...
May she? Yes. Did you need permission?
Yeah, because I don't want to steal anyone else's time.
It is all well and good to be considerate. Nevertheless, you already knew that you could ask another question.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now I'm getting emotional.
Oh, all right.
So, you talk about that moment, which is, I think it's kind of like the crux of the paradox, where
yes.
you're smack dab in the very center, looking at
smack dab.
Yes, you're looking at the no choice, and so the conclusion is, I don't want to survive.
Yes, in the negative belief.
Yes, deep in the core of the negative structure there.
Yes.
It seems to me like that is also a place of tremendous potential alchemy. Like,
yes, of course. That's what we're talking about.
Right. I understand that, and I know you sort of answered this question as what would I have to believe is true in order to be in the situation. But I kind of want you to expand on that moment, that quintessential moment where you're up against the wall a tiny bit more, if that's possible.
All right.
How to produce the alchemy, how to allow the alchemy of that second. Is that possible?
It is possible.
Thank you, sir.
Sirs. Oh, sir. Ooh.
Sirs.
Oh, all right. Ma'am.
Madams.
Yes. Again, this can be done in many ways. It depends upon the individual. It depends upon the belief system structure as to what methodology might work best for that individual. However, one way is again to recognize the power of paradox in the following way. In any event where you are feeling like you have no choice at all, it may be helpful to recognize that the only way it is possible to actually have the experience that you have no choice at all is to actually be free to choose anything. So free to choose anything that you can even choose the experience of having no choice at all. Does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe.
I'm getting there. It's kind of like living inside your anonymity, or I don't know.
It's asking yourself, how did it come down to the idea that there is no other choice here? Because again, there's a negative and a positive side to this. The idea of the negative side of having no other choice can lead to the idea of true self-annihilation in the form of suicide. Not really self-annihilation, but a transition, but annihilation of the physical personality. The idea of no choice at all in the positive sense is that your passion is so representative of your true vibration that nothing else seems logical to choose. That there is no other choice but that one. So you can look at it from both sides. Having no choice doesn't in and of itself need to be a negative thing. It can be a positive thing. So the first realization is that even the issue of having no choice can also be positive as well as negative. That can lead to the realization that if you are able, if you're capable of actually arriving at an experience where it seems like you have no choice at all in the negative sense, that the only way you could possibly be having that experience is if you had been given the choice to have that experience, which means you have other choices.
Right, you have all choice, right?
Yes.
So that fine line is walking. It seems to me it's the same line, the line of no choice and all choice. You're as close.
Let me put it another way. Let me put it in terms that might be considered somewhat scientific on your planet, using the vernacular, using the example that is referred to as entropy. The idea that your scientists have expressed is that when all things, shall we say, in the universe, in creation, give off their energy, give off all their energy, when everything breaks down so that there is no more exchange, no more difference between anything, when it's all homogeneous and no more energy exchange exists, no more action can occur, if you actually look at that state from another point of view, you will realize that once complete and total entropy and non-action has been achieved, everything is equal. There is no way to tell anything apart from anything else. Then in that state of being, anything goes. Which means that it can actually start to recrystallize. It can actually start to reclump. It can actually start to redifferentiate. So from absolute entropy, can actually come the seed of a new creation, the seed of a new Big Bang, so to speak. Because once you arrive at a place where everything is absolutely equalized, then anything can happen, because space and time, you don't know what direction anything is going in at all. It's all the same. So it might as well be going in any direction you prefer it to go in. And thus, by having that very thought, it brings everything into action following that thought, because that thought now is all there is for anything to take its cue from. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So when you arrive at the idea of having no choice, it's very similar to the idea of everything being equal, of not seeing any other direction to go in, because there is simply no other action to take. And when there is no action to take in any direction at all, then you can actually take any action you wish, because when there is no action to take, all the rules are gone. Everything is gone. There are no more limitations at all, whatsoever. So you can do anything from that point. So having no choice, paradoxically, means you have every choice. Because once you have no choice, there are no rules, there are no limitations.
Is that why I personally straddle that line so much? Because I'm seeking this tremendous liberation?
You are doing that particular balancing act as a exploration of a theme. Yes. Okay. Does that help you?
Yes. When will it be over?
Never. Why would you want it to be over? Does that mean that you are not allowing yourself to define this experience in a positive way? Because all you're actually asking is the question, when will I choose to have the experience in a positive way? When will I choose to define it in a positive way? Because when I define it in a positive way, I'll never want it to end.
Yes, to live more in the infinity. Instead of walking on the line between the two.
Yes.
I would, is there a way to
walking
jump
on
off?
The line between the two is experiencing the balance of infinity, if you define it that way. See, what we are saying is you can define it however you wish.
Right.
And that's what's going to determine how you're experiencing what it is you are creating. We will continue the transmission in the following way. Allow us to briefly recap. You have your 15-minute time span, which is the time in which, generally speaking, the neurological pathways go from plasticity to hardwiring themselves with a new idea. And with every single thought, with every single feeling, with every single definition, you change the wiring of your brain. And now, with the understanding and the introduction of this specific structure of belief, embedded through the holotopic experience, into the center of your receiver antenna brain, you now can have the opportunity to always allow there to be a doorway to the light, even in the darkest of hours, even in the most negative of beliefs. There will always be that tug and that pull to remind you that there is always a light at the end of that tunnel, and to urge you to walk toward it. And to know that every moment is a new reality, a new you, utterly and totally defined by whatever definition you choose to buy into most strongly at that moment. And we remind you of your mechanisms of manifestation, making the invisible visible that is already here, and motivation, discovering what beliefs you have attached to the ideas of pleasure and pain. That these things are not things you have to learn, just things you have to clarify and use as tools. With your permission slips, you are now more capable, because you are new people, more capable than those people that were here a moment ago. More different, more clearly aligned, more clearly defined, with the higher mind in concert with the physical mind, than the people that were here before. Those people are in another reality. It still exists, but they are not you and you are not them. You are now who you define yourselves to be. Feel the difference in greater ways every day, and you will see and experience the immediateness of the shift from reality to reality by simply creating greater difference between them. Because there is already a total change with every change. And now, in keeping with the idea of the manifestation mechanism we described, by focusing and concentrating your intention, as you did in the holotopic experience, bringing your passion, your vibration of highest resonance into it, we now transfer to the other side of letting go, opening up, surrendering, not thinking about it, changing the subject, going in a new direction, lightening up, not worrying about it at all, letting the higher mind take care of it for you, letting the higher mind involve itself with the how your passion will manifest, of the how the synchronicity will present itself to you. This already works. You don't have to make it work. It's the nature of the structure of existence and creation itself. Let it work. Allow it to work. Relax. Let go.